Okay, so I don't really ever do things like this where I just kind of turn on the camera and just start talking. Usually I have a kind of like a setup where I set up lights, I set up like a sound thing, but right now it's just me and it's just a camera and it probably looks really crappy, but that's okay because for like the first time I thought of something that like I wanted to talk about and I wanted to just talk about it. Don't leave any time for there to be any kind of like fluff to make it sound perfect because I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be me, and it's kind of hard to be yourself sometimes when other people have these expectations of you. But I think that's really important to be yourself, to be quirky, to be weird. That's an entire other thing. But what I want to talk about, I don't know if this is going to be in one take. It might be just because this is all right here, right now. It's raining outside, or it was like 15 minutes ago, and I don't own an umbrella, and I really should own an umbrella, for when it rains. I won't get wet, because the past like 2 days I've gone to class, I've been absolutely drenched because I don't have an umbrella, and I don't know. That's okay. That's my bad. But so I was walking back from class today, and I was waiting at the. I mean, sometimes I jaywalk. I'm not the best person in the world when it comes to traffic safety, but today I waited, across the street, waited for the little white go signal, and I walked across the crosswalk. I stepped up on the sidewalk, and I was walking on like the right side of the sidewalk. It's an interesting story, I promise. So I was walking like on the right side of the sidewalk, and I just heard, and it was pouring down rain, and I heard some muffled thing behind me, and I turned around, and there was this guy on this bicycle coming up really fast on the left side of the sidewalk, and so naturally I took like a little like step to the right, so he could pass me on the left, and like a second later, he just slammed into my back, and I just like his handlebar just caught me right in the lower back, and I just tumbled over, like just like sprawled out, and it's pouring down rain, so this is all really pathetic. But I just skidded on the sidewalk on my hands, and I don't know if you can see that they're still kind of red. My thumb is bleeding a little bit, but yeah. So I just sprawled right on the sidewalk, and this guy like went over his like handlebars, and good thing there was like really lucky for him there was a red light because he skidded and he fell into the road of all places, and so that could have been really bad for him. If there wasn't a red light, and I'm covered in dirt. But and of course, there's like an accident. The other guy is always going to be the one to blame you. Like, hey, watch where you're going. And I have the personality where it's like, oh my God, are you okay, dude? Are you hurting? But that differs to that's subjective. But he got back on his bike and he just kept on going, and I just kind of stood there, and my hands like stinging and stuff, and that reality kind of just it's like calm down a little bit because the adrenaline kind of lifts you up a little bit when that kind of thing happens. But just the idea of that, like that guy, I will never see him again. I mean, the chances of it is like so tiny, like infinitesimal. And did I even use that word right? Probably not. My vocabulary is dismal. But that point in our lives, we met and then we departed. We had this big moment that both of us are gonna probably remember. Maybe not in like the distant future, but this big moment that we both shared, and then that's it. He's gone and I'm gone, and that reality is kind of crazy because it applies to a lot of things. Times where somebody will come into your life, and then they'll be gone. You won't be able to share anything with them ever again. Whether it's a good experience or it's a bad experience, and that it's a really difficult thing to wrap your head around, like when it happens, and because it's a hit and then it's gone, and it's there for you to process if you care enough about it. That guy probably is just pissed off at me, for being in his way apparently on the sidewalk, but that'll stick with me, not who was right and who was wrong in that situation, but that it happened, and that how many times like in our collective lives are we gonna have those moments where something happens and then it's over. I don't know. I'm not trying to like give any kind of message or any opinion on it other than that. That is just interesting to me, and yeah. I don't know how long this was, or if it was even worth anybody's time, but I felt like chatting about it because lots of things happen, and the people that you meet, and events that happen, if they're meant to be or if they're not meant to be, but you know, that they're shared is kind of a cool thing. Okay, so I'm probably gonna go shower and stuff because I don't know what's going on up here. But thank you guys, I guess, for tuning in to this this little story of mine, and hope you have a good night. Maybe if you want me to tell little anecdotes in the future, then let me know. But for now, I'm just gonna go put band-aids on my fingers. See you guys later.